So what I was talking about
with the
a
CHAZ.
couple of days ago
Oh,
with my friend, not really a friend, where he's
your friend.
yeah.
You can call him a friend.
Um, we were talking about how society has progressed through the years, like throughout all of human civilization and everything. And he made the argument to me that we on an individual level are idiots. We're so stupid. Like and like I was shocked to hear something like this.
I
Because we
disagree,
have
but
wait, let me finish
yeah,
this.
yeah.
So and it's because of our ego, because we're egoistic characters, but you said on a communal or a social, like in a group level, we're actually quite intelligent. Um, so I definitely have been like really thinking about that and how it applies to CHAZ, for instance. How for instance, as a group, people are able to rally behind an idea, but yet that idea can be so false and so just illogical,
Are you
irrational.
are you sure you phrased it correctly? You said an individual is stupid, but a community is smart.
Yeah, no, that is exactly
All
what he
right,
said. And no,
I
I didn't say I agreed with
I
it.
disagree. I'll state
I
that right
very
now.
much disagree as well. But you see, I'm trying to see both sides here, as I do with basically everything. So, like, I understand what he says.
What did he say? Why is a community stronger than or smarter than an individual?
Um,
Because you remove the
what did he
ego
say?
from the individual.
Yes, exactly. And you think as a group rather than um, doing things based on your own selfish gain.
That's that's theoretical though.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
100%. If yes, if we lived in a pure community, as in no one cared about themselves and they only contributed to like the community itself, like bettering the community,
Yeah,
then yeah, I might be inclined to agree with that sentiment. But unfortunately, communities more realistically are just a bunch of individuals slammed together who
it's
all of
true.
which are trying to get their own make help themselves while also not trying to be perceived in that way. You know, basically to survive in the community, you have to like
Do stuff only for the community.
for the community, but like in your heart of hearts, you're most likely doing it for yourself.
Yeah, so that's the issue. He says like people are ego driven and we do things because we are selfish. And like yeah, that's completely true. The thing is I feel as though because of that we are not
It's the other.
necessary. Yeah, like the reason I disagreed with him is because it is due to that ego that we are not necessarily intelligent, not get past that barrier. And he was telling me no, but technically that just applies to you as an individual. As a group, we're still like, we're still able to do all these things. Like we're getting people to the moon. We're creating a civilization. We have a society. As messed up as this society is.
Yeah, but the problem is, and maybe I'm wrong when I say this, but all the progress that has happened throughout all of humanity, all the science, all of the technology, while it's true it was not like created by like single people, like there's no one person built a rocket, no one person created everything, but it was fueled by like individuals.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say next.
Innovation
Yeah,
typically isn't community based. Like that's why China gets a lot of flack stereotypically for being robots, because as far as the outside world is thinking when they see China, they usually think they don't have any original ideas. They always copy everyone else.
which is horribly wrong in my
It's
opinion.
I mean,
And
it probably
from
is
what I know,
wrong, but
no,
like
it is most definitely
but
wrong.
like
There is a lot of
a
innovation
lot of my
going on in
Chinese
China.
friends will be like, the Chinese copied Honda, they copy Mercedes, they copy iPhones, they one guy made a copy of Michael Jordan's shoes with the his symbol, and the only difference is instead of doing a split, his legs are together, but it's the identical
Huh?
pose. And the guy became a billionaire because no one cares. No Chinese person's looking at that symbol and being like, "That's not Michael Jordan," you know. So it's
It's fair.
like they are kind of known for being knockoffs. They're kind of they like. I'm not saying they don't create original stuff. I'm sure there are many brilliant people. No, there are objectively brilliant people in China, but like, can you name something that was invented in China? And no, fireworks from like the Ming Dynasty doesn't count.
Okay, well, have you heard of WeChat?
Did WeChat come out before or after WhatsApp?
Before, I believe. But it doesn't matter because WeChat is an all-in-one. It's an extremely
Yeah, but it's the thing about WeChat is
versatile thing.
it's very, and maybe I'm wrong, but I believe the government like has control over that. Like
It does.
everything
But
about
that
WeChat.
a lot of stuff in China is state controlled
No,
anyway.
so it can
So it
be
doesn't
argued that that technology is more used just for spying than for
Well,
luxury of
to
the
be
people.
fair, it's like they do what they want, right?
No, it's true,
It's
but
their
like
government.
WeChat is definitely great. From all the Chinese people I met in Boston, it's apparently like amazing. And my dad went to China, and he was using WeChat. And it's like it's so amazingly convenient to just
It
pull
is.
out your phone and do all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm also not being a very anti. I'm not trying to take a backseat. I'm just saying like it's not my place to judge China based on what they do.
We're not judging China. I'm
I'm
just
saying that's why I say like it's their government. That doesn't matter.
no, we're not talking about their government. We're not talking about their way of life. I'm just stating like how the outside view it. I know China is amazing, but I also know that not everyone knows that. You know.
Yeah.
So Chinese government, if you're listening to me, first of all, welcome to the podcast. Second of all, we're not against you. We're just letting you know how the outside looks at you. You probably already know this. You probably heard a million times over, but
Yeah.
it is
It's
what it is.
unfortunate.
Keep up the good work. If you made a mistake, we forgive you.
And stay positive.
Stay
But
positive.
anyways, so I didn't like the fact that he was saying that because one of the biggest ironies of it is, you, as you said before, you succeed as an individual. As a society, we haven't really succeeded in community, like in a great way.
And
Other than creating countries and creating civilizations and being able to communicate on such grand scales, like when it comes to trading on the stock market, for instance, you can form a corporation, and just perform transactions and things on the nature of government as well, where you can find representation for all the people residing over a certain land, or residing in a certain land. So other than that, we haven't had like a big win in a group setting. Like all the wins, like you said, they come on individual bases, and yet like what I said was super ironic is that in order to make those wins, or to get those wins on the group level, you have to undergo what is called essentially an ego death, which happens only as an individual, not
so to
on a
get
group.
rid of
the ego that so-called holds us back, because as a group it is what is, like we're supposed to try to not be egotistical or egoistic, so as the group is going to be prospering versus the individual.
He's not wrong, but we've had
No, that's not something he said. That's something that I thought about.
Well, then you're right.
Well, I'm just saying it's just super ironic because like it's built into that idea that like you have to undergo an ego death in order for the group to prosper, but that's something that can only happen as an individual. Yeah. So like it's just it's a hamster wheel. It doesn't end.
It's anti-human.
Yeah,
unfortunately. A human would never do that ever.
Yeah. Well, there is such thing as ego death, to be fair.
And no, honestly, is there even a single animal that would when you look at animals, right? Even the same species, they'll compete a bit amongst each other because it's for survival. They're not.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, in a perfect world, those animals would probably have enough food to feed all of them. eventually food might run out, and so the biggest and the toughest eat first, and then whatever's left can maybe go to the rest, and if there's not enough, they die. And that's just like nature. That, like, those animals aren't thinking about like the ramifications of like right and wrong. They're just literally, I'm hungry and
That's
I'm
true.
gonna die.
In the jungle, if you're a tiger, you don't care if you're gonna step on a bug. You go and you find your food, and that's it. Same thing for bears, same thing for lions. It's just there's no RGB. It's just black and white for them.